In this tutorial video, I will show you how to install the Haskell interpreter GHCI on Windows 10. So again, like for the previous tutorials, I'm using a virtual machine via web interface on my Mac. So don't pay attention to the Mac OS in the background. What happens here is really it should work on any Windows machine. So we're going to simply go to haskell.org and into downloads. It should be pretty straightforward. So installation instruction for Linux, macOS, Windows. So we're going to just follow these instructions: install GHC, Cabal install, and Haskell language server via GHCUP. So to install on Windows, run the following in a PowerShell session. So I'm going to copy this line and then go to PowerShell, Windows PowerShell, and paste here. The default path is fine with me, so I'm going to just leave it at C. Same thing for Cabal. Do you want to install the server? We're not going to need that. Just in case, I'm going to say yes, but we should not need it. The stack, no. The stack is really more for like heavy project management. We won't need that. Of course, feel free to install it. The GHCUP is recommended, so we're gonna install it. The stack is really for very large projects, which we will not need in this case. All we'll need is to be able to compile a .hs file and then query through the prelude GHCI command line. It's going to take a little while to install. And then here they show you the little GHCUP interface that allows you to install different versions of GHCI, GHC. So we won't need to install necessarily the very latest. By default, it doesn't necessarily install the very latest one. We won't need to. The one is recommended is the 8.10, and it's enough for what we need to do. We don't need a more recent version. So we'll just install the one by default. So it's moving forward here. So after a little while, it says starting GHCUP installer, and it opens the MinGW x64 window, and it's normal. It's supposed to do that too. It says welcome to Haskell. It's going to install Haskell here, which makes me think that we probably need the MinGW to be already installed. So if something fails at this point, go look at the tutorial on C to install MinGW, because we already did that for C. So it should be almost done. It's installed Haskell, and it's installing Cabal. So it should be done pretty soon. Okay, so it's all done. In a new PowerShell or command session, we can just start GHCI, which is what we're going to do. But we can also look at the GHC version using DHC up. So we can try both. Any key to exit. So we can now leave PowerShell and use the regular command line, but it works also in using PowerShell. It should work. If I do GHC up, what was it? It was GHC up install, I think. Okay, so it says GHC version 8.10.7 already installed. It's already installed. If we want to see, the different, it's list. I think that's list. GHCap list, but we don't need to do that. It's just going to show us what is installed, what is not installed. So here we have IS is for 8.10.7 recommended. That means it's installed. If you want to install another one, you can. So you can see here what is installed and what is not installed. You can follow the command here to install other versions. But again, we don't need to mess up with that. Sorry about that. Again, it's weird sometimes to use this on a Mac. And then if I just do GHCI, which ultimately I want to do, is going to take me into the Haskell interpreter, and now I can load any .hs file. So I'm in C users user. So if I want to quit, I can do :Q to leave, and I can change folder. For instance, I want to be in the desktop, so I'm going to restart GHCI from the desktop folder. And now if I create a new text document, I'm going to call it test.hs, and let's open it with Sublime Text. Do we have Sublime Text? Yes. Let's make sure. Oh, it has the .txt extension, so we want to get rid of that. We can go here into. I can close that. We can go into. These was former examples. We can go into properties to change that. No, that's not here. Well, let's. I'm used to Mac where it's much easier to do that. I'm just going to do a new file here, and I'm going to save it into the desktop, and I'm going to call it test.hs to make sure that the extension is just .hs. So now we have Haskell here. It recognizes in Sublime Text as Haskell program because of the extension. And so now, what can we do? We can declare the function double x that can compute 2 times x, and not triple, but plus 3 x that computes x plus 3. I'm just doing something very random here, very simple. And see, so now I can simply load and compile that program, and by just doing :L test, it's going to automatically find my test.hs. It compiled properly, so it worked. if I do double of +3 4, it's going to compute. No, it didn't. Oh, because my +3 doesn't have a, so it didn't find +3. Uppercase. Okay, so double +3 4 is going to return 14. So same thing as with C before, right? If I do my function x is +3 of double 4, if I do that and I try my func here, of course it's not going to work because it's not compiled, it's not updated, right? I need to load again test. Now if I do my func3, it's going to work, right? Okay. When you compile, of course, if you have some errors, you know, for instance, could we say that double takes int and returns float? I guess that's not an error. It's probably going to be fine with that. But let's just try. Yes, no, it doesn't work. It could not expect the type float with actual type int, right? So it created an error. So here, when you compile, it's going to give you the errors and the details, a bit like C, okay? So there is no, like, as far as I know, any like IDE that works like Java, where you can see your errors as you code. But this works great. This works really nicely. Okay, so I hope this tutorial was helpful. You have really now everything you need once you have this to do your assignment. So good luck with that.